Mic test. What's going on, y'all? Happy Friday. It is no noise time. I am Z Rex. I hope you all had an awesome week. I totally freaking spaced doing that stream on Wednesday, kind of like, or on Tuesday, messed me up, and I totally missed one. I apologize for that. That's okay. There wasn't much to talk about anyway for that day. Today there is some pretty big moves though. Kind of crazy here. Litecoin is popping off hard. Bitcoin Cash is continuing its run up over $300 now. Pretty crazy. We're getting some wakey and some Doge and some other things. Pretty interesting stuff. We'll get down the whole list here shortly. But uh, happy Friday, end of the week. If you go on summer vacations, hope y'all are having a good summer, all that good stuff. Let's get into the price action. It's like, wow, okay, there's plenty to talk about, especially some of these pumps. Russell's up over 1900. Very nice. Let's start with Mama Bear, as we traditionally like to do. Actually, one thing I want to look at real quick is the total market cap. Yeah, pretty much just looks like Bitcoin's chart. Um, anyway, massive doji right here. Went up early this morning, it looks like, to touch that resistance. Or I guess real late last night, actually, around midnight. A little dumpage here right at the open of today's futures and traditional markets. Kind of just putting in a real big fat doji in the range here. Kind of nothing quite new yet. Let's see. Just kind of so far price acceptance up at the tops. Really need to see that 31 5 get taken out to the upside. I mean, yeah, just kind of hovering up here above 18 looks good on uh sorry, GBTC. Ethereum looking really good. I actually like this cross, this setup, the test of the chronological order, all the EMAs pointing upward. This looks pretty damn good. Really got that resistance though at 19, 20-ish. You can see that that has been respected many times here. Past that, 2000's probably pretty easily reached, and really beyond 2K, same shit, different day. Nothing's really changed on that front. So we're kind of just right in the middle of this 1750 and 2000 range. Futures showing the same thing. This looks kind of like a flag right here, off a false breakdown, I mean, false type breakdown retest of tops of range. I mean, this is setting up to be pretty damn bullish if we get continuation. And that would be 2K, really probably 1920, and then that 31.5, like we talked about the other day on Tuesday's stream. Litecoin, what the hell's going on? Litecoin is just popping through the entire box today, and that just looks like it happened mostly since the open today. Had a little dump, but it is pumping hard here, getting over $100. This is very good sign for the bulls on Litecoin and in general, because Litecoin did lead the market last time and based before most things did. So this is actually really very nice setup. Closing above 100 would be very good. Next thing we would want to look for is an open and close above 100, above this little blue box here. And let's go to the weekly, ratchet out. I mean, this is a girthy. If it closes like this in the next couple of days, Sunday evening, I mean, this is a pretty girthy, nice candle. No lower low here, just even, kind of just sideways consolidation. Looks pretty clean on the weekly, to be fair. And if we get to open and close above 100 next week, that would be very bullish. We've been looking for that kind of move for Litecoin for a long time to kind of confirm the bulls as it kind of hovered around that mid 70s to up to about 100. So bulls are attempting to break out on some stuff today. I mean, look, ETC is also pumping hard today. XRP is not. It's actually just chilling right on this kind of sloppy trend line I have drawn just to illustrate that ascending triangle, which is very much intact. We do have something, kind of like this. You could draw it like this too. And you got this little tail on it, something like that. So we do have real good support at this really good support at the mid 40s. XLM is continuing to pump. It's actually trying to make a new local high. Let's see if it can close above 11. That would actually look pretty damn good. These moves are a little bit crazy because they're so vertical. So we do have to be a little bit cautionary that we get some kind of false breakouts here, and this just keeps selling off. We can actually extrapolate this line over here, and it's actually more aggressive, believe it or not, than these last two aggressive pumps. So that's definitely the only kind of concern based on the kind of this chart. Let's see. TRX looking good. I really like this chart. One of the better looking charts. Looks real dandy above 69. Looks real good. So just getting some follow through here. Obviously, there's some resistance around 8 cents, 8.5 pennies. Dot's not really doing anything. It's just chilling down here on the lows, not really getting no love. Wow, Litecoin's still running 108. I mean, it's up almost 30% today. That is crazy. I really want to see Ethereum and Bitcoin get some shit going too here, break some of these major resistance areas that have been struggling, that the bulls have been struggling with for many moons at this point. ADA, though, a lot like Dot's chart, just kind of hanging out on the lows. If if Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to start taking off and get comfy at these higher levels, we probably will see some of these play catch up here over the next week. Link looks like it wants to play catch up today as well, as it sits on the bottom of this range. Fake out, a little fake breakdown, and you already know from false breakdowns or breakouts comes opposite moves and really quick, fast opposite moves to other side of range. So, I mean, we're probably looking for this thing to run to like around $7, I think, at least, with a pretty easy swing target to maybe like 750 on this. Only if it got back out of here below like I can't talk here, below 570 would I be, concerned for the downside. EOS coming out of this very long kind of falling wedge pattern that's been on here from a couple different major trend lines to the top that created a wedge. Kind of an interesting pattern with the trend line cross way over here in August of this year. But bulls are trying to defend this, and as long as it's above about like 64 cents, this could be a potential swing spot, especially with how other stuff is acting. This one is just blowing my mind a little bit. What the hell, man? I took a little bit off of the table yesterday on this one, and I'm gonna trim probably again on this today. I mean, this is just too crazy. I'm not gonna hodl through this. This is already done. I mean, holy shit, what is this? In the last 10 days, it's done almost 200%. Very impressive move by Bitcoin Cash. Roger Ver is saying, suck it, I guess. This is pretty damn bullish above $200. Now, is it a little bit extended? Yeah, probably. It probably is. Let's zoom in a little bit, see if we can get some divergence maybe. And you got some pretty weak. So with divergence, like this is technically bearish divergence. But when the divergence doesn't get a deep retrace, usually close to the 50s, it's not as strong as if that does happen. And by in the 50s, I mean, so if you have the swing low in the divergence print, like so if this came down to 50 something and then came in and made the lower high, that's like way stronger class A divergence. But it's still kind of there. But this is just getting crazy. Looking at structure, I mean, there is a lot of resistance around 350 to 400. But at this pace, I mean, this thing could tap, that 350, 400 level before really getting some selling pressure, which is pretty wild. What a freaking move, man, on BCH, up another 26.9%. Oh, hell yeah. BSV is getting love today, too. It is attempting to break out. Let's go. You already know. Been liking this one for a hot minute. I did get a little breakdown here at 24, of course, but I guess this was just the early June Armageddon for some capitulation for the bulls to run. So far, that does look like that's the case, and I really do like this above $33 now from this reaction. This is actually pretty damn sexy looking. Let's see, open and close weekly too. Here in 2 days, we might be able to do that over the 21 EMA, which is very critical. That's a very important pivot point in crypto and in general for market trends. Oh my gosh. Stop phone. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm sure that buzzing comes through somehow to the mic. Anyway, this will be the first open and close potentially. It does still have 2 days. It would have to fall back below like 35.5. But this will be the first open and close. You could argue that this one technically is, although it's a very weak one. But let's just call it that. Let's just consider that one the first open and close that we'll have since the fall of last year. So that's a significant update for sure. We've gotten XMR still looking pretty good. That last week taking out all the EMAs. I love weekly candles like this off of this structure. This looks really good above 157. I ain't got no problems there. Only if it were to fall back below there would I be a little bit concerned. We're even getting Zcash pumping today. Look at this. What, y'all? What is going on? The altcoins are awakening. This is pretty damn interesting and definitely a development in price action and behavior. We're even getting Doge back above the devil's number today. Pretty interesting. Radix is not sharing no love, but that one's really thinly traded. So, but yeah, nice move on Zcash, looking real good back above 29. Little resistance, or actually a lot of resistance at about 37. So see how the bulls can finish this week out, because they are still very well below the 21 EMA. So they got a lot of work to do still. Dash in a similar boat, trying to get the party started, but real weak on the weekly chart. There's kind of nothing super great about it. Man, does it look like it kind of wants to reach 42, this cluster? Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does, but just not the best looking chart. There's a lot better ones out there. Dogecoin, look at this. This is actually pretty sexy. We start getting back above 666. And this looks like a 618 retrace. Yep. Right to the 618, and we're getting caught. That looks really good. This could turn into a really bullish chart if we start camping above the devil's number again. See how this weekly closes too. Oh, excuse me. The hiccups are trying to creep up on me. Come on. Come on. All right, STX. Kind of just chilling here. If it's going to follow kind of everything else, I actually really love these setups. We talked about Russell had a setup like this where you get chronological order and upward slopes on the EMAs. And these are just the three that I use, but you can kind of apply this to any EMA type strategy. And generally, this is a really good spot for re-entry for continuation. So stacks looking a little bit sexy here, as long as it's holding about mid 60s. I like it. You can see that the bulls also are defending that level very well today, because it looks like we just had that kind of dump right at the open. Yeah, see, looks like we had a little dumpage on the open, but some things are pumping very hard, as BCH, Litecoin, Zcash, to name a few of the big ones, and Ethereum Classic for whatever reason. TrueFi is not getting true to anything except for the bears. Is this going to break out from a bump and run type situation? It definitely could. Really need to see the bulls clear like 4-7 though, to kind of wake them up. This is not the best looking chart so far. Poor Radix. The best situation right now is them to hold on to about 6 pennies. And really need to see the bulls get back above like 7.3. This is a pretty nasty candle, but look where it got caught at a higher low off of kind of the structure here, retesting this area, this previous breakout area, and the 200. So this is actually an interesting spot, and one could argue a pretty decent risk to reward entry right here at only about 10% risk. And, you could probably look for a run to the top part of this range, which is about 20 or so percent. And really, if it got pumping from here, I would look for it to probably take out this little local high. So could be about a 40% run. So you could make a pretty good argument that that's a decent risk to reward entry, especially with some of these other altcoins popping off and looking pretty sexy. VeChain looks like it's trying to get back into its blue box. So that's about 222. Looks real good above 1.7. As long as we're hovering above 1.7, not too shabby. Atom, poor Atom in Osmos. They just can't really get no love. Is it kind of at the well, this is interesting. It's like right on the cusp of this breaking down at about 850. But it's right atop like kind of all this business. This is a interesting spot, kind of funky pattern here. But if the market's kind of waking up for the bulls, which does seem to be the case in some of these altcoins, most notably to me, Litecoin today pumping over 100. I think that's like probably the biggest development because it actually has structure that looks really good. Unlike BCH is just like moonshotting right now, so that's not sustainable. But Litecoin structure does look really good, and if that's going to carry over and we're going to clear 31.5 and 1920 on Ethereum, I would look for some of these more shitty charts to at least come test the range, from earlier in the summer. Osmos, oh man, poor Osmos. Tried to get going, rejection already. I mean, ugly. It's a freaking ugly chart, man. It's just been in price discovery mode to the downside since we broke that 69 level right around here. It's been shit ever since then. Because, when you break major supports that's never been tested, you go into what's called black hole mode, and that's price discovery. So it can pretty much just keep going down till it doesn't. That's kind of how that works. Now, is this an interesting spot maybe for some support? Yeah, about 46 cents. You could make that argument. Not really my cup of tea until we can see over 52 cents. Then I would be looking for probably a run up to like 60-ish or so. Then have to reassess. Ton is not having no love with anything going on. It looks like absolute trash. Once it lost that $2, that kind of area, we were hawking for a while. Once we lost that, it's just been absolute murder fest. Now, is it at a good point for support? Oh, Nike. Sorry. Well, the weekly's not super useful, but it does have this little cluster. And kind of like a little couple pivots here. So yeah, 130-ish does definitely have some decent support, but really need to look for bulls to try to make a stab, back over like 140 at least. Holy moly, look at this, guys. The bulls are back in town. Are they? I don't know. This is pretty crazy by the price. We've been watching this like a hawk, and we're getting bullish as soon as we crossed over 42 with a couple open and closes above 42. It's been a party ever since then with this little flag here. We do still have this gap, but I mean, like we were talking about earlier in the streams, like this is just retest sign. The bulls are definitely stronger than most people want to admit here. I know that's hard when every freaking YouTube suggestion you get, no matter what kind of shit you're into, is like the sell off of the doom and gloom of the apocalyptic blah 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 nightmare. It's just like every freaking thing seems to be like that. But Price is telling us that it's actually been pretty damn sexy above 42. The only thing that was really lagging was Russell, and now Russell's above 19, which we're going to get to here in a second. So ES, I mean, this just came backfilled off the 21, sine waving out. I mean, this looks very constructive. If we zoom out to the weekly, I mean, this is like not bearish. There's nothing bearish about this chart right now. Now, can we find something a little bit maybe? No, on a 3 hour, I don't even see anything there. Like we were trying to look for divergence the other week. Maybe we're going to get some off of this. I mean, it's only the first candle, so we can't call it quite yet. But this would actually be more textbook divergence. You can see this one is in the 50s. But it's too early to say. We have to see how this closes first and kind of go from there. But you can obviously see that we are getting that resistance at 4,500. So we are in this range between 4370 and 4,500, but still looking good overall. Same with NASDAQ, same kind of just sine waving up, man. There's nothing really bearish about the structure. Now, is this a little bit concerning that we're below the line here? Yeah, a little bit, and that we're like sub 70. Like maybe you can make an argument that that's some weakness creeping in for sure. But until it loses like 14.9, like whatever, you can think that all you want. I know a lot of people have not wanted to been bullish, most of this year, but that has been the trade actually, is to be bullish as this attempts to base out. I did read somewhere that we are on pace to have the best first half of the year or something for Nasdaq, which seems a little bit crazy, but I guess it did actually start from this hole down here. So it is up 40% for the first half of the year. And that seems kind of crazy that that would be the best run, outside of the tech bubble. Maybe it's true. I don't know. It's just something I saw come across a stupid little headline. Dow looking good. Same thing. Coming back, testing the ranges. I mean, if this thing gets back above 34.7, I mean, open and close on a daily, we're probably going to 35.7. I mean, this is a pretty sexy setup. You can see it's kind of like a really wide. Let's see if that's actually pops up on the weekly. Yeah, it does. You could call this an inverted head and shoulders right here. So, I mean, it is attempting pretty much breakout. You want the open and closes to be above the neckline, which is up here. We're getting that. So this is pretty much targeting the next range up here is what I imagine this would point to. Yeah, just a little bit above it, a little bit over 36, which is close to all-time highs. Crazy enough, Wow. Everyone's like, what? That could never happen. Well, it's building up right now. These EMAs and shit look real good. Just like we were talking about on the stream on whatever it was a couple times ago or last time, that this is one of my favorite setups when you have the EMAs stacked like this real close off of really great structure. This is real high probability setups, and we're getting a lovely bounce off of that level and getting back above 1900. We start camping above 1900. Would really like to see a weekly open and close above there. Maybe we can print that next week. If we see that, I mean, I'm looking for at least, just shy of 2000 on the Russell, looking pretty damn good. Just like the trans were looking real good. We were talking about them flagging out on the last video, and here they are getting continuation. I mean, it's already about to hit the measured move. This is pretty serious stuff, y'all. Obviously, can it be failed and go the other way? Yeah, anything can happen. It's a market, but I mean, we got to start flipping your mindset if you can't just stick bearish forever, because that's what the entire market's pretty much saying. Everything's bearish and shitty, and it's like, well, Microsoft's at like all-time highs right now. Apple's at all-time highs. A lot of stuff is corrected off of those big sell-offs we had, over the last year and a half, mostly last year. Is this a big bear trap or a bull trap? That's what some people are calling it. I don't know. I don't like to think too much and speculate too hard. I like to be simple, and as long as price is doing stuff that it needs to do to be bullish or bearish, that's pretty much all I care about. And right now, everything's doing what it needs to be doing for bull setups. So till we lose like 18, 14, 9, or we would have to lose pretty much this 43.60 area. And Russell would have to get back below really like 18.40 for any of these to be concerns. And then we've got DAX also pumping off of this funky ass little formation up here. But man, looking pretty damn good. It looks like it wants to go make another high. I don't see any reason why bulls couldn't get up to this horizontal. That is the next major resistance at about 1666. Of course it is. Where else would it be? This is like the worst looking chart is China. So I'm not sure why China doesn't want to play ball. Let's see. We do have kind of like a little trend line, sort of something like that. Yeah, just kind of surprising. It could even be like a little falling wedge here too. Yeah, most definitely a little wedge. So kind of interesting. If it got back in this green box over here, I'd be looking for probably a test in the upper part of the range. But probably this is like one of the not so sexy charts. VIX going to 0. This shit is just brutal. It's just clustering down here. VVIX is all the way down to 82, like we talked about last video. Unless it's only really a big concern for volatility pops when it's above 100 or getting real comfy, like right up underneath 100. If it starts clustering right beneath it, that's like a good little hack, I guess you could call it. Yeah, does it spike really hard sometimes like it did right here in a couple of days? Yeah, absolutely, that does happen. But even when this did happen on March 10th, right here, getting over 100. If we go over to what's up, Casey Lewis? How you been, man? It's been a while. Good to see you. What did I say? The 10th? Is that what it was? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, maybe. Crap. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm just curious. So even right here, there we go. Yes, March 10th. Not May the 10th. March the 10th. Um, yeah, it was right here. Damn, right when we spiked. So it was a little late to the party. I wanted to see kind of that. I've never really back tested that or anything. Just kind of noticed it. But over 100, I start to get concerned with big moves to the upside. You can see it was kind of just rejected pretty quick and came down. But pretty wild, man. That VIX is just getting destroyed. Bulls are back, I guess, baby. Oil just sideways as hell, man. This thing just looks still fine above 67 bucks, like the 67 handle. Getting squeezed, y'all. Big move in oil is coming up. This is a weekly chart right here. Here's the 200. There's the 21. Just another couple of weeks. Pretty much by the end of July, this will have compressed all the way, and I would be looking for resolution on this formation here within the month. So we're probably looking for 80 bucks or like 50 bucks. Maybe not 50 would be a little bit low, like upper 50s maybe. Let's say ratchet that up to 60. So we're probably looking for a $10 move here coming up fairly soon for oil. Nat gas trying to get going still. Is this going to just pump all the way to 320? Major resistance there. Definitely looks like a decent chance. It looks like the best chance it's had in a hot minute. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. Only concern is if it starts getting below 265. Bonds aren't really doing shit, sideways as hell. They're still confused with the rates. Oh, actually are having a little bit of breakage to the downside. I guess hikes are coming. Okay. Maybe more hikes. Let's go hike to the moon, apparently. Still holding on to this descending triangle here. Also would imply more hikeage, getting below that horizontal. Dollar kind of just chilling, whatever, doing its little sideways consolidation. Let's jump to gold. Gold is kind of in, wow, it almost went to that 1880s level yesterday. Geez, wow, right to 1900. Bulls defending it so far. That is that's kind of a line in the sand for the Bulls too, is that upper 1800 handle. So pretty interesting. Still making higher highs, higher lows. Really just want to see Bulls get back over 2K on gold. If we could do that, man, this gold would probably break out and make some new highs. But right now, it's just lollygagging, slow mover. You already know 2420 is the level for silver. Now, could you argue this is a decent buy spot? I think you probably could make a good argument for that. You've got the EMAs mostly pointed up. You've got higher highs, higher lows. You've got a nice little trend line right here that we're sitting on right at a trend line cross horizontal, and the 200. Yeah, now that I'm like looking at this, that actually is a pretty damn good re-entry for long positioning. So that's interesting. I might throw on some SLV call spreads or sell some puts maybe. That's an interesting spot there. I didn't notice that it was stacked so good with the wow, even the monthly is stacked pretty nice and sexy. Very neutral on the oscillators, obviously, because it's really been sideways for a couple of years now, but very nice though on this weekly. Obviously, that 2420 is the kind of the short term pivot point, and you can see that splits all of this business right here. Very important level. Ooh, here he comes. Casey's coming in hot with the hot sheets. Let's see. Platinum barely holding on. I mean, you can see it has bounced a lot from this 900 level, so could very well bounce again from here. Really want to see it get back above 19. I'm sorry, 950. Palladium just going down. Yeah, it's bearish as hell below 1300. GDX also holding on to some structure, just barely at the cusp. And GDXJ looking a little bit worse, but still making higher highs and higher lows. A little bit sloppier than GDXJ. Let's go to the blockchain stuff and see what that's doing. I want to see. Wow, there it is. Gap filled on cores. It's that as we were looking for that last stream that probably get to the gap fill. All right, now this is where it gets real dangerous, I believe, on this stock. Um, like this is probably it for this little run. Yeah, obviously anything can happen, but you got this gap fill and dollar is not much above you here. So, I mean, and dollar is going to have mega resistance, and that's like what is that, 10% or something, 12% away. So, and it's already got a really big move. I would be very cautious of holding this, continuing to hold this for the long term. Plus, it's actually very hard to get out of too. So, you got some pretty big slippage on this guy. Bear with me for 1 second. I'm actually going to tell a friend of mine that actually told me about this company. They're based out of Dallas. That's where he lives. And he was like, "Oh, dude, you need to check out Cores." I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay." Ah, oh, I better spell right. I can't spell right apparently. All right, let's see here. So very nice move for Cores. Let's go over to the. Oh man, look at this, y'all. The freaking our Bitcoin, our crypto ETF, or not really ETF, more like index. Our crypto miner index is breaking out right now, y'all. Holy moly. Okay. Well, shit, dude. That's pretty cool. That is very cool. Getting above that 380 level today with the pretty vicious, nice candle. Obviously, does have this resistance at 400, but man, very nice. See if this weekly can close good here at the end of the day. Just up on these highs would look pretty damn sexy. And if we could get an open and close next week above 380, that would look really good for crypto bulls. Well, let's see here. What? Overstock is just saying, let's go. Lovely pump. All right, so it's probably time to take my trade off on this one. Let me see what the hell. I had a call spread on this when it was down over here. Very, very nice to see that. I've probably. Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Love to see those numbers. I'm probably going to take that off today because this is freaking straight up and mega resistance at about $33. So that is beast mode. Now, could it keep running up to 41? Yeah, for sure. I did do a call spread on it though. I think I have like the 30. Let me see. Yeah, I've got the 30-40 call spread on it. And so, my deltas are getting pretty small. I'm only like 20 delta now. So my exposure is getting tiny. And I've already gotten over half or about half of my available profits. And if you don't know about options, you should definitely learn about them. They are awesome. They're freaking epic. Tasty Works does real good. I don't know, training. They just do lots of cool videos. That's a good one. And it's all free too. So if you want to kind of just dabble your toe in it, I highly recommend going and checking them out. And they're pretty entertaining too. There are a lot of option guys too. Just be careful of anyone. I'll give you this one tip on options. Be careful of anyone that just says you buy them. That's probably bullshit. You don't just buy options. You can buy them as part of like a call spread is you buy, a shorter strike one and sell a top strike. So I was selling like this 20, or I'm sorry, I was buying this 20 and then selling the what was it, 30 or the 40? Yeah. Sorry, I was buying the 30 and selling the 40. So I was trying to play that range there. And so if you're doing it like that, but just buying them straight up is usually gambling, and theta decay and other things will just destroy that. So Just be careful. Selling puts is actually and calls is actually a really good strategy. You can do covered stuff. So check that out. I'm not going to go too far into that because that gets into. I've noticed like options is where you lose a lot of people because the lingo and all that is kind of like another language, but they are very, very useful products. Here we go, Apple. Let's go. New highs. Microsoft, almost new highs. AMD, not quite. Amazon, will probably get there at some point. It's got a ways to go. Disney, this is one thing. I think I'm going to buy some Disney actually today after the stream because I don't this one and Cisco, and I really like this Cisco chart too. Well, hold on. Yeah, I love this Cisco chart above a 48. Very nice. What else is good? MU is kind of an interesting spot. I wish these were a little bit higher. You can't always get what you want, though, obviously. But I do like the structure with this like nice little W type pattern in here, and all the EMAs stacked real close. Generally, I do like the chronological order for like perfection, but looking against its structure, this is actually pretty damn sexy above $60. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Yeah, but look at this. Visa is about to make some new highs. I mean, dude, there's a pretty decent argument that we're just about to go into full bull boner mode. It's kind of crazy. But, until Apple is back below like 180, 170, or Microsoft starts getting comfy back below like 300, I mean, you already know there's only like 5, 10 stocks that are really carrying a lot of the market weight. So Amazon's at an interesting contention point here. A lot of resistance at 130. So it's kind of like at the point of struggle more so than other things we're looking at. Stupid Meta. Wow, Meta has filled this gap. All right, so that's interesting. So one could argue that this is stretching all the way up and could be a bull trap. I think maybe that's the concern by a lot of the bulls right now that missed this rally, and that you could make a decent argument with that, but you got to have the price action follow through with it, and right now we don't quite have that yet. This is an interesting spot though for Meta to fill that gap at a 786 886 retrace zone. So there off of this, there is a concern that if this were to close back below 260, this thing could get mollywopped pretty hard. So, off of some fib trading strategy stuff. But overall, though, still looks pretty good. We do have this little daily gap, double gaps here at 150 handle and the 220-ish area. So, maybe we go fill those up and then have the party continuation. Let's go look at this Ferg thing. Whatever that is, Ferguson PLC. What the shit is that? Distribution services. Okay, a little dividend there. Let's go to the weekly. Ooh, garbage chart. Prior to 2020, looks real shitty. A lot more volume on it over the last year or so. Hey, this looks pretty good above 140s, man. Yeah, 140 handle as long as it's above that. I ain't got no problems, man. Very nice. Appreciate you sharing, Casey Lewis. Good to see you again. All right, I think that's probably it. Unless someone wants me to go look at a ticker, I'm just going to kind of play around here and look and see what's crack-a-lacking. Kind of look at some of these. I don't know even why I called these Clown World. There was a reason for like back in the day when I first made this list, but I don't even remember now. Yeah, a lot of resistance at 70, like pretty much $80. So it's like a big range right here, like 60 to 80. Really needs to get above 80 to look good. Snowflake, such a funny. Man, on the daily, that actually looked pretty good. I like this gap kind of flag in chronological order here. Actually looks pretty damn decent above 168. Not too shabby. Tesla saying, suck it, boy. Oh, man. Tesla gets the 200. This dotted gray line here. Sloped back up. Shit, that goes into pretty sexy bull mode, man. If that were to happen. That would also coincide with the 21 crossing back up on the weekly. That could look real good for Tesla. Fizz. Let's go to Hood. This is one that I also want to buy. It's just right in the middle of this range. It's actually about to set up for a pretty nice cross on the EMAs. But I'm thinking I like uh, the Cisco and Disney trade a little bit better. Tencent Holdings might also be a decent one. They own a lot of freaking video games. Like, man, if you don't know about Tencent, research them a little bit. That's an interesting story. Now, China, and they're kind of not too hot right now, but this could be a really big ass pennant right here. So interesting. Really needs to clear 46 though to get super serial. TD Dub, huh? Let's see what TD Dub is. Holy moly. Tidewater. Transportation, marine shipping. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, it looks like new highs for this. Oh, no. Just kidding. Not even close. Wow. What the hell, dude? What is this shit? I have to go to the monthly. Wow, this has been publicly traded since 1970. Get the frick out, man. All right, well, let's put the cheat code on there. Oh, yes. So it's a major resistance already at $60. Interesting. Okay. Let's take that off. Let's go back to let's do a 2-week. Man, I mean, it does looks kind of volatile, but I mean, above like 40-ish bucks, it does look pretty damn good. And I like breaking out here. Attempted real breakout. I mean, above the 40 handle, shorter term, I'd probably use like 48. But usually write all your stuff long entry at 54 with 40 or 51 targeting $61. Okay, okay. Yeah, not too bad, man. Usually that's right at the gap fill too over here. That's probably a decent target. You always come up with a pretty good ideas there, Casey Lewis. I love how you have all your plans out too. Stop all that, put it out there. That's good. Good Shiite, man. What is this? Notifications? Oh, thank you, Hitch Cox G, for the follow. Appreciate that. We are approaching 100 subs on the Trading View, so thank you all. Appreciate that. Hopefully, we can keep growing the community over time and add some different value stuff. I'm in the transitioning into kind of jobs and stuff. Wanted to focus more on this and some car stuff that I do on the side. So. Hopefully that comes to fruition here over the rest of this year. So I'm excited to do that. We'll have more info on that later. Wow. Litecoin over 110, y'all. What? What, dude? Wow, there it is. There's that 1920. The bulls are freaking. Wow, dude. Okay. Well, here's 1920 on Ethereum clearing it. This is setting up, y'all. This could be the pivot point for the bulls. Oh man, this flag, they are just so close knocking on the door for the upside. I actually really like that Litecoin is saying suck it right here. This is very, very, very sexy candle price action today. ETC. Ooh, man, lots of green. What the shit, man? The last like end of the stream here has just been getting fiery. I mean, this thing made another high. Freaking 330. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, man. Very nice. Okay. Well, well, well. I'll be dipped. Let's go look at water. I do want to look at water stocks too. But car parts are an underrated stock, I think, that most people don't really, think about when they're investing. But look how good of performers these are. AutoZone, I mean, it's pretty much up the entire time with a couple little blips. O'Reilly's, look at this, same thing. Advanced, for whatever reason, isn't as advanced and doesn't look as good, which is kind of weird. But that's okay. LKQ, they do lots of used parts and own junkyards and stuff. Wow, Holly, nice move, dude. Hell yeah, dude. highly. This one could do good too. Looks real good if it gets above $2. Could run to probably like 270 ish, so not too bad. But yeah, car parts, man. Um, they don't sell off that much. It's like water stocks. They just kind of just keep going, dude. I mean, look at this thing. I already just barely even gave you any opportunity to buy here. It's like, oh, nope, we're just going to keep cruising on. But if we were to dump really hard and go into some crazy recessionary thing or whatever sell off, do be on the lookout for auto stocks. And yeah, this is correct. $2,500 on AutoZone. Kind of crazy, isn't it? All right, let's go to bonds. I want to see Mooney's real quick. Mooney's just kind of still filling this out. All right, so nothing new there. Junk, same thing. Yeah, just filling it out. All right, that's it. Okay, so wrapping this biatch up. Bitcoin needs to get over that 31.5-ish area. Looks good. I really still like this setup. I mean, I had someone tell me the other day, like, oh, the only reason it's rallying is because of the BlackRock news or whatever. Whatever. No one cares. I don't think that they even approved it. I think they said something today that it's inadequate or blah. Of course, they're not going to do spot, y'all. They're not really going to want to approve that. That's too cool and too good for crypto. So they don't want to do that. And I told him too, my buddy, I was like, well, that didn't even matter because, yeah, that was just coincidentally that news came out right around this structure, though. This structure is like way more important, which we've been talking about way too long, how close all these EMAs were. And that's why we ratcheted up to about 26,000 instead of the 24 for the lower intermediate term timeframes for pivots. And you can see like that just bounced and happened to coincide with that news coming out. But structure and price action was already signaling that. Like Bernard Baruch says, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. There's not more data in the entire world than what this chart shows for whatever tradable you're looking at. That's the collective knowledge of the entire market right there in front of you. Very nice getting over that 1920. That's what we've been looking for right there, happening live on stream. Look at that. Let's go. Let's go. 2000 next stop, over 2K. You get a weekly open and close. Probably just one at this point. We'll do it. We can get a weekly, and obviously that's going to take at least probably 2 to 3 weeks for that to even attempt to happen. So patience, but that would be very bullish, and I'd be looking for like 24 hundos if that were to happen. Just getting some nice pumpage, man. Little dump pump today. Dump at the open. Oh no, BlackRock. Oh. And then see, no one cares because that's just stupid news. It's like immediately got rejected. Price trumps everything. Don't forget that. Everything else looking pretty damn sexy though. So we'll see if this all turns into some one big bull market bull trap shit. That's yet to be seen. And we'll have clues and stuff and talk about that if that does start to build up. So anyway, much love. I hope you have an awesome weekend. I'll be signing off here, getting ready to go hang out with the kiddo. And other than that, much love. This has been No Noiz. I am Z Rex. I'll see y'all Monday morning. Actually, I might not see you Monday morning. I'm going on a trip to Colorado for about 10 days. I am going to bring my laptop and try to do something. Hopefully, I have some decent internet up there. At worst case scenario, I'll do like pre-recorded videos and just load them up on YouTube, so you can go over there. And or worst case scenario, is that a word? Case scenario, if I can't get the internet or whatever to work to upload, I will upload a typed version on my ideas page on Monday. So look out for that if you don't see a video by lunchtime or so. Anyway, much love. I will see y'all guys then. And happy weekend. Happy Friday. Talk to y'all later. Peace.